Guys, it's coffee time. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. I need to re-dye my hair really badly. I think that I'm going to do that before I go to bed tonight because I've been thinking about it for days. And when I go home again to Oregon, I now have a hair appointment, so I would like for my hair to not look like booty when I walk in there. It's fine if the cut looks like booty because that's why I'm going in there and be like, yo, hair mom, can you make all this look like it makes sense again? But color-wise, I've been trying to maintain the color myself, so I don't want to walk in there and be like, look at what a great job I'm doing! Because it would be a horrible lie. And for those of you, say hi! He's like, no, that's okay. He literally was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But to be fair, you've been trying to get my attention all day and been a huge butthole, so I feel like it's okay for me to be like, look at the camera, are you having such a great time? So for those of you who watch me and my roomies on Twitter, you will know what I'm going to talk about today because Husky totally spoiled it. But this morning, we're all doing our own thing, right? I made breakfast for Ro and I because we've been eating really well. Mike didn't want any of it, so I was like, whatever. So made food, eating breakfast. I'm at my computer, like, starting to get ready to record Lucius, and Ro's watching Netflix or something. I'm not sure. I don't know what we were all doing. What I do know is that I'm sitting there, and it suddenly sounds like there's a waterfall in the bathroom. And I was like, that's probably coming from outside. So I just sat here for a couple of seconds, and then I was like, I think that might be inside. It was one of those, I was in denial. I really didn't want it to wind up being something that I would have to take care of. So I was like, oh, maybe it's outside, probably. No, guys. It was the, like, oh my gosh, what is it called? In a bathroom, when you turn on the thingy that goes woo. Anyways. Oh my gosh, I can't think of words. It was dripping water, like a ton of water from the ceiling. And the fan. And so I grabbed my huge dye bucket and took it in there so that it could catch some of that water and, like, wiped up as much as I could. But I left it looking like that with, like, the bucket and then the huge towel pushed up against it because I was like, whenever the dude comes, I want him to walk in and go, oh, this was a thing. So I knocked on Mike's door because normally either Mike or Ro are the ones that wind up calling our landlord. I've only ever talked to him in person. I've never called him on the phone before. I'm kind of scared too because I don't understand him very well, and I would feel terrible being on the phone with him and being like, what? But Ro understands him really well, and I think Mike understands him really well. So usually when there's an issue, I'm like, can you call him and be like, hey, there's a problem? So there's a waterfall in my bathroom. So I'm like, Michael, could you maybe call the landlord? So he does. And he's like, okay. So there's a guy that's gonna come out at 2. And I said, okay, cool. So go on with my day. Going through all my t-shirts. That's a stack of t-shirts that I'm going to turn into a huge quilt. I'm very excited about it. So I was like planning that all out and doing the color coding for that. And then Ro and I found this show that we started watching called Who the Bleep Did I Marry? The first season is on Netflix, and oh my goodness, it is a crazy show. At first I was like, this sounds so dumb. It's crazy. It's like, it's on Discovery Channel. And it's literally a show about people that wound up marrying, like, felons or spies or murderers and didn't know for years. And, like, their story. It is crazy watching this show. Ro and I were like, I'm never getting married. Because literally, like, all of these people, it was, we were very happy together for, like, 10 years. I didn't suspect a thing. Just made me go, how did you get duped? How did you not know? Ah! So anyway, so we watched a bunch of those episodes and I was going through my t-shirts and whatever else. I realized, short deviation, hopefully. I realized that normally I think girls a lot of times, I don't think the boys do this, but girls a lot of times will help each other out going through their closets because we wind up hoarding a lot of clothes. I know the guys do that too, but I don't know. They don't talk about the act of going through their clothes as often as girls do. But when you help somebody go through their closet, normally girls have a nice variety of shirts. There's like, oh, the flowy shirts, the t-shirts, the long sleeve thermal shirts, the formal shirts, the informal shirts, the business shirts, blah, blah, blah. So I pulled all of my shirts out of my closet and realized that all but 4 of them are t-shirts. And I had so many, like a stack, probably about that tall, of just folded up t-shirts all the way up to there. And Ro was like, oh, girl, you got a lot of t-shirts. I was like, this is my entire closet. This is all that I have. She was like, oh, well, I mean, you wear them a lot. I was like, I know, but I feel like I need more variety. Anywho. So we're doing all that, right? And we realized at one point, it's like 6 in the evening and the dude never showed up. Mike went to a meeting, so he was gone. But Ro and I were just like hanging out going, And at this point, it was just a dull drip. It wasn't a waterfall anymore. It was just like a bloop, 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 bloop. I was like, okay. And then Mike gets back at, I think, 7:30 or 8. And I was like, oh, the maintenance dude never showed up. And Ro was like, yeah, the guy never came over. Like, and Mike goes, oh yeah, he called me a few hours ago. He's not going to be here until tomorrow morning. We were like, oh, good. I don't know. It's not like it would have changed what we did with our day at all if we had known that he wasn't going to come until tomorrow. But we were both like, oh, the other thing that kept going wrong today, we have very, very sensitive fire alarms. And everybody on Twitter was like, you guys, just take the batteries out or just press the reset button. The fire alarms that we have do not have batteries. There's no battery to take out. The only power supply that you can take out is cords, and when you take them out, it continues to beep. I don't know how it works. I just know that it goes on forever, and it is probably powered by devil magic. That's all that I can think of because they never die. And it's the worst thing ever. And I've looked for a reset button before and not found one. I'm sure there must be one. I can't find it. But it's just really sensitive. So whenever we cook, we open all of the windows. We open the front door, like everything, to make sure that there's air circulating, right? And the fan's on high, whatever. So we did all that this morning when we were making breakfast. We're backing up like way earlier in the day from where we just were. I'm making breakfast, right? And literally every, like, minute, the alarm is going off. And I was like, I just want to eat. I just want to eat. So every, like, minute of cooking is then followed by Ro and I getting up, grabbing pillows, and going, and trying to blow air away from the... It was silly. Overall, it was a silly day. But I am very excited that we found Who the Bleep Did I Marry, because that show is ridiculous and very interesting. It's one of those shows that makes you go, I don't think I trust anyone anymore. We were just watching it and we were like, what? Blew our minds. I don't know, man. Maybe I shouldn't be watching a lot of that show. Maybe that's not a show to marathon. It's just gonna make you soups paranoid. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else went on today. We made a really good dinner. And then I ruined it because Ro got like she got little donuts to use for something, but then they wound up not working. And then Mike and I were like, oh, really? Your donuts didn't work. Should we eat them then? So Mike and I have been like filtering into the kitchen every few minutes and just being like, just eating donuts. They're tiny, and I haven't eaten that many of them, but I have gotten in there a few times now. Just like, donuts, delicious. And now I want a donut, so I'm gonna go and get a donut. No, what have I done? But I hope that you guys had a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye! Mwah!